Well, let's switch gears just a little bit. You're also going to be talking about EPLI.
Employment-related practices,
right,
correct.
So for those who are new, explain what that might be.
Well, this is actually a subject that evolved primarily in the mid-'80s. When I first started in the insurance business, I have a good friend of mine, who by the way is also on our national faculty, who says that I started in the insurance business right after the earth cooled. So when we did that,
Okay.
you can tell the friends I have. So when we're doing this, the idea of employment related comes back to the issue of the client and of course the issues with hiring, firing, and supervision.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't realize that every employment-related practice claim stems from one of three spots.
Mm-hmm.
Hiring, firing, supervision. When I do this, especially in the rural area, which is up here, which is what the mega's about, a lot of people are going to get to meet my family.
Okay.
My wife of 43 years has had 3 hip surgeries, both of her wrists and carpal tunnel. And we just found out she's got another issue with her hearing, may have a cyst in there. And the reason I bring all this up is she works every day. And so she's been on a cane since she was 31 because of her hips. And I tell some stories about how she was interviewed just down at the University of Texas. She was actually interviewed for a job that they'd forgot to put into the job description that you needed the dexterity to be able to go up and down flights of stairs on a fairly regular basis. This is in a building that had no elevator.
Oh, okay.
And how do you, when you, and we get into all the issues of it, the hiring, the firing, et cetera. It's not just a lot of things that you see. A perfect example is if you turn on television, you see about this tremendous number of things on sexual harassment, racial discrimination. One of the things that I open up with is it's like a quiz, and it's not in the outline. But I'm going to ask the group, technically, according to the federal government, how many races are there in America? And the actual answer is one of 2 numbers, because they will say, like, here, well, perfect example, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Island native. And they have an or in there. Now, is that 1 or 2? And so well, the reason I bring that up is that we're into hiring, firing, supervision. When my oldest son turned 40, I called him up, wished him happy birthday. He said, "Thanks, Dad." He said, "I want to congratulate you, son, because you have reached a milestone." He said, "What is that?" He said, "You are now old according to the federal government."
Right.
And he responded by thanks for nothing. And I said, "Well, it's a typical birthday present from your father."
From your dad.
Yeah, you know, that's what I'm all about.
Who started the business back when the earth was cooling?
Oh, no, he was. I did, correct, yes. He came along a little later. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
That's okay. All right, last question. So just away from insurance a little bit. What's your favorite hobby?
We are in the middle of, I'm in heaven. I don't know how to say this, but I am a huge, and it's an understatement with huge, college football fan as a sport.
Me too.
I grew up in the SEC, but I was right on the border. My wife is from southern Indiana, so they're Big Ten oriented.
Okay.
And you and I were having a little conversation. I didn't say there are many stadiums that I have been to. And a matter of fact, the great thing where I lived and grew up is you literally could drive up to Indiana University in Bloomington, which is only 110 miles away, and catch a afternoon game, jump in a car and drive down to Lexington, Kentucky, because they play at night in the SEC, and you can get 2 of those in one day.
That's awesome.
And as a kid growing up, I saw Archie Manning play for Ole Miss.
Okay.
I saw, matter of fact, I saw him the week before he played one of his more famous games. They were to play Alabama after they played Kentucky. You can tell he was really bad.
Such a dirty word.
And well, the thing is, the coach for Ole Miss did not want to show Bear Bryant anything. So all they did was line up and run. They almost got beat. Because Archie, of course, was a thrower. And they didn't do anything. Because he knew they'd be scouting him. And it ended up the game was something on the order of 17-14. The next week, they lost to Alabama 33-32. The ball was just going back and forth. No, but you get me going on that subject, we'll be here for weeks.
All right, so who's your team?
Well, deep down, I'm an Aggie, and which is interesting because I know
Makes my heart happy.
Well, that's why I said that, of course. Not a native Texan. I'm one of those people got here as fast as I could.
There you
as
go.
I was telling you, when I got here, we live in Austin. My wife, she bleeds orange. She started, and she's from Southern Indiana, but she started working at the university, and she will complete her 30th year in May of next year. And she does. I'll tell you a story in relation to this, and I don't know who we're going to show all this to, but someone will understand.
Okay.
There was an A&M coach named R.C. Slocum.
Love R.C. Slocum.
R.C. Slocum's son was also an assistant. And for years before I got way too much traveling, I actually had season tickets for UT. So I'd come home on a Thursday or Friday. Susie and I'd get together. She'd be in orange and white. Well, of course, every year, we're either down in College Station or up here. And this was a game that was in Austin. And we were walking to our seats, and we're underneath, they've redone the stadium so much, underneath the stadium where the visitors' locker room was, and the A&M coaches were outside. And as I told you, my wife's been on a King since she was 31. Well, she's in orange and white. I'm in maroon. We're walking along. She's got her arm in mine because walking, and it was R.C.'s son stopped in mid-sentence when they were talking, and all these coaches looked at us, and they said, "One of you is not going to be happy at halftime."
And which of you was it at that halftime?
Oh, Susie was.
Okay.
This was, I can still remember the year, it was 94. Yeah, no, she was not happy.
That's a great story.
Oh. She also let me know she was not happy as well. That could be an expensive issue,
Yeah.
but that's another story.
We need to get those two teams back together and start playing again.
Well, I think that'll happen.
I sure hope so.
I think one of the reasons it'll happen again was simply on account of the pressure. Fisher's going to make a presence over there,
For sure.
and it's going to drive it together.
I'm just happy they won yesterday.
Oh, yeah, that was a tough game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, for both sides, because, the Texas quarter Erlinger getting hurt in the first quarter.
Yeah. Well, thank you for stopping by and telling us about all of your glory days and in the business, and then about your passion for football. So thank you for sharing that with us.
I appreciate the invitation. Thank you.
Thanks, Patrick.